Well, already, the holders out, Brian Clough still in the game. And tonight, Liverpool, lucky Liverpool, face another difficult hurdle, the replay of Sunday's draw against Everton. And there's certainly no disputing the gods have been on their side so far. It only takes a second to score a goal. It's just as well.
Howden crosses, and it's in! It's an own goal! Is it Atkins? It's Atkins!
Last gasp salvation at Blackburn and a fourth-round tie against Brighton. After a draw at Anfield, Liverpool were just 14 minutes away from an FA Cup exit at the Goldstone. But no panic. 2 late goals and Liverpool through to a fifth-round Merseyside derby on Sunday, with Everton in uproar.
Burrows, and McCall wins it back off him. Burrows goes in there again. Nevin too. Nevin is brought down. It's a penalty. No, it's not. It's a goal kick.
Not that Liverpool didn't have their chances as well. So let's hope that all the attendant drama that's surrounded Liverpool in the Cup so far this season continues tonight. The general consensus, for what it's worth, in our office today was that the game's a near certainty to go to extra time. I wonder what our guest Ray Wilkins thinks about that.
I think it'll be a very keenly contested match, the same as the one on Sunday, John. It's going to be very tough for Liverpool. Everton, their confidence will be sky high. They've taken them back to Goodison Park, and they'll be thinking that they can finish off the task now. There's a saying in football that your name's on the cup, and Liverpool have had a bit of good fortune, so perhaps it could be their year.
Well, about an hour or so ago, the players all arrived at Goodison. Liverpool were first down the off the coach. There's Beardsley going through there. Will he be playing tonight? That's one of the great selection dilemmas that Kenny Dalglish seems to have week in, week out. And I noticed one paper this week had a cartoon with a special Beardsley memorial seat on the side of the ground, because he never seems to be actually on the pitch. And here are the Everton players getting off their coach, and as Ray was saying, they may well think that the hard work has been done already, but I'm sure that Had Kendall will be at great pains to point out in the next few minutes before kick-off that they've barely done the job yet, because it's a very hard hour and a half ahead for them this evening. As far as some of the team changes tonight are concerned, obviously Sheedy's not playing for Everton, McMahon injured on Sunday and he's out. What do you think about the Everton lineup? What sort of tactics are they going to employ?
Well, I think Mike Newell's going to play up front, and they're going to leave McCall out. Obviously, it appears that they're going to hit Liverpool with an aerial bombardment, which is the way Liverpool defended at this moment in time, from free kicks and corner kicks and set plays in general, is not a bad way to attack Liverpool. But I think Liverpool will be expecting a bombardment, and I'm sure they're going to get one.
I know you're a big Peter Beardsley fan. We'll talk about him in just a second or two. If we go to Goodison now, I think we can go to the tunnel, in fact, leading out onto that famous pitch, and that's a path that Andy Gray has trod on a great many occasions. Andy.
Evening, John. Yes, and this is basically where it starts. The first little conflict will have taken place by kick-off, and that is, I think that Everton will be very keen to send Liverpool down this tunnel first, and then they will follow out and get one tremendous roar. This is perhaps the part in time where the vocal players come into their own. They get very vocal. They're encouraging the players. Right where I am now, there's this sign, "Welcome to Everton." Lots of players will touch that with both hands. A little bit of superstition from footballers, but footballers are not without superstitions. Now we're getting to the point of no return, John. We come down these stairs and we're basically feet from the touchline. And the team that's going to win today will be the team that's coming up here with the desire, with the will to win, perhaps with a little bit of luck that every team needs to win a cup tie. But one thing's for sure, when they hit here, the noise will be absolutely deafening. I've trodden these steps many times and look forward to doing it again. And all I can say is, from everyone back there and everyone at home, don't go away. The best is yet to come.
A bit of a muted cheer for Andy, I thought, there this time. Mention of Beardsley, actually, we've just got the teams here, and is he playing? Yes, he is playing. How influential is that going to be?
I am a Peter Beardsley fan, and I think he'd be very influential as far as Liverpool is concerned. He's not only a goal taker, John, but he's a goal maker, which is vitally important for Ian Rush. I think when they play with Speedy out front with Rush, they rely on Barnes to create everything. But now Beardsley's back in the side, I think you'll see him creating as well as perhaps taking chances.
Well, David Speedy's on the substitutes bench tonight, along with Ray Houghton. We'll talk a bit more after this break. Fifth round replay. The sixth round draw looks like this. No, it doesn't. This looks like Glenn Hussein leading out Liverpool. Ray, nervous moments, obviously.
They are, but I'm sure Liverpool have been through this situation many, many times, and they do look very relaxed. Not too many nerves there.
I imagine with someone like Grobbelaar on your side, he can always take some of the tension out of any situation.
That's right. It's vitally important to have players in your dressing room, such as Grobbelaar, as Barnes, looking very confident. And it's nice to have those guys about. They take a bit of the pressure off the younger fellas.
It must be nice for Peter Beardsley to actually know that he's going to start a game, because it must be very frustrating if you're a player of his calibre to keep finding yourself on the bench or not even actually in the squad.
Very much so, and it's a great game for him to come back into as well. It's going to be electrifying, the atmosphere, and I'm sure Peter Beardsley will relish the fact.
Liverpool first out to a mixed reception, I think one can say. That's what you'd expect from obviously. And you know, when you've got Speedy and Houghton as your substitutes, it gives you some indication of the strength and depth that Liverpool have. And also, think of all the players they've got injured who aren't playing tonight. There's a quite extraordinary squad that Kenny Dalglish has assembled at Anfield. If you were a betting man, who would you say are actually favourites to win tonight?
I would say Everton favourites to win, and they've worked very hard over the last couple of weeks. Lost at Anfield, went back and got a terrific draw, and they'll be really confident that they can finish off the job tonight.
Mind you, having said that, Liverpool are never more dangerous than when they're not expected to win, and Howard Kendall's going to be any too well aware of that.
That's right. I'm a bit worried about the Everton setup without Stuart McCall. In a game such as this game, where it is going to be hotly contested, the match, I think McCall should have played.
Will Everton win it in 90 minutes, or is it going to go to extra time?
I think Everton will win it in 90 minutes.
We shall see. Let's join our commentary team tonight. Andy Gray, you've seen him already. Martin Tyler, you haven't seen him yet.
Well, there's no scarcity value in a Merseyside derby. This, the 3rd in 11 days, the 21st in 5 years. But in every other sense, the commodity is exceptional in its appeal. Whatever the context, Everton against Liverpool produces the right kind of footballing passion. And long-time observers of these special occasions have been telling us when we arrived in the area that they can't recall such an interest as there is for this 5th round FA Cup replay. And with each team losing a key player with injury on Sunday, the deliberations of the two managers over selection are of particular interest. Well, here is Howard Kendall's side. Neville Southall, the first name on the team sheet in more ways than one. Then the Dutchman, Ray Atterveld, wearing number 2. Andy Hinchcliffe is back after injury, but a little short on recent match practice. Kevin Ratcliffe is still captain, as he was when Everton last won the Cup in 1984. Then Dave Watson, a former Liverpool reserve player. Martin Keown, who was brought in on Sunday to give some extra defensive cover. That was a move that worked for Howard Kendall. Then Pat Nevin, we should describe him now of penalty claim fame, I think. Neil MacDonald is at number 8 tonight, with Stuart McCall dropped from the Everton midfield. Graham Sharp in his testimonial year at Goodison Park, and a place alongside Sharp for Mike Newell as a second out-and-out striker. John Everell, who was left back on Sunday, is in his preferred midfield role tonight. The substitutes are McCall and Tony Cottee. As for Liverpool, Bruce Grobbelaar, of course, his 10th season as a Liverpool regular. Then Glenn Hussein, the captain in the absence of Alan Hansen and Ronnie Whelan. David Burrows plays his last game before suspension. Steve Nicol, who showed his versatility again on Sunday in that reshuffle after Steve McMahon's injury. Jan Molby, who nearly left for Barcelona last year. Liverpool very glad that they were able to hang on to him. Gary Ablett, the only Scouser in the Liverpool lineup tonight. And Peter Beardsley is recalled for his first start for Liverpool since December the 15th. Steve Staunton, left back for the Republic of Ireland, but in midfield for Liverpool. Ian Rush, so often the executioner of Everton. John Barnes, who's played in FA Cup finals against Everton for Watford as well as for Liverpool. And Barry Venison, the substitute for Steve McMahon on Sunday. He takes over McMahon's shirt tonight. So David Speedy, on his 31st birthday, is relegated to the bench. And Ray Houghton is there as well. He's been out since the replay in the third round of the FA Cup. Referee Neil Midgley has a rich sense of humour, and maybe he's needed it since Sunday, finding a few supporters of his decision not to award Everton on that penalty appeal. So Peter Beardsley, the chance to re-establish himself in a season in which he's been hampered by an ankle injury, but he's also been dropped 5 times, but can point to 11 goals in 14 league appearances. There's a recall for Mike Newell, who's hurt Liverpool before. When he was a player with Luton Town, he helped knock them out of the FA Cup. The supporters at Goodison Park saw Everton off to their worst start for 40 years, when Liverpool were really fast out of the gate. But the gap between them has started to close, and at least after 5 consecutive derby defeats, they were able to draw in the FA Cup 5th round at Anfield. And Andy Gray, can Everton go better than that tonight?
I think realistically they can, Martin, and talking to a lot of the players before the game, they were quite confident, quietly confident without being overconfident. And I certainly believe that they can. The selection that Howard Kendall has made suggests that they are going to try and bombard Liverpool and put the defence under a tremendous amount of pressure. Liverpool will know that they're going to have to absorb that pressure, and are absolutely brilliant at counter-attacking on the break. Once again tonight, I think we're in for a fascinating Merseyside derby.
A genuine decision, as he and the linesman saw it at one glance. And you know, players have been known to miss open goals. Ablett giving an early feel of the ball to Liverpool. Their goalkeeper Bruce Grobbelaar, and Liverpool attacking the goal to the right. Peter Beardsley loses the first challenge to Kevin Ratcliffe. Barry Venison wearing 11, but playing in his usual position at right back. And Martin Keown continuing where he left off in the position on Sunday. Ebra with the throw to Hinchcliffe, to Newell. Venison.
Couple of early interesting variations on formations. David Burrows is playing in the midfield, give Liverpool that competitive edge, missing of course with Ronnie Whelan and Steve McMahon injured, and Steve Staunton will play an orthodox left back role. From Everton's point of view, Pat Nevin will float around, I think, more behind the front two now that Newell is playing alongside Sharp.
On by Ebrel, and it comes to him. I think he was a little surprised to find himself in so much space. Didn't really get hold of it, didn't get a touch from Pat Nevin, who was lunging in. Might have made it more interesting. It's Staunton. A challenge from behind on Rush, and the free kick is rightly given against Dave Watson. Two up, one behind those two, and at the moment 4 in midfield and 3 at the back. McDonald wearing 8, and he has a similar midfield role from the first game. It's the second challenge from behind on Rush. A few words being said between Ratcliffe and the referee, and Rush and the referee. And the free kick nowhere near there. Glenn Hussein will take it. Rush up with Watson. It's 2-1 for everybody. Beating Barnes and Atterveld. Barnes. Everett just got a nick of that. But here's Beardsley. Well struck, good start. Rush! Brilliant save on the second occasion by Neville Southall. Really did enormously well then. This is Atterveld. And Hussein doing the right thing. But it only goes as far as Nevin. And is cleared by Ablett. Barnes taking on Martin Keown. But he's held up by a combination of Keown and McDonald's. Beardsley. Atterveld. Sharp. Too strong. Gives it to Beardsley again. Rush. Staunton's cross. Nicol. It's a goal kick. And a moment to breathe. Surely significant that Peter Beardsley, the first time he got the ball, he was prepared to have a crack at goal. That's what his manager has criticised him for. Although he was scoring well early on. That was a good stop. He couldn't hold on to it, but the recovery here was magnificent to get the block in. Nevin. Hinchcliffe. Sharp at the back. Ebro! The nearest yet. Coming in the 13th minute. Trouble, I wouldn't have made it, I don't think, if it had been inside.
I think John Ebro there would be disappointed because it was a great knockdown by Graham Sharp, a little shake of the head, terrific cross from Andy Hinchcliffe, which he, from the left-hand side, he'll have to do. He's a very good crosser of the ball.
Venison. Nicol to the right, Barrows left. Was intended for Rush. Oh, and he got a bit stuck. Newell. Eberl. Sharp. Mulby. Haven't been too many Liverpool attacks in which he hasn't had a foot. All back by one for Everton. Rush. Beardsley. Nicol starts the run. And Hinchcliffe makes a good challenge. Ball stayed in. And here's Sharp. Nevin wants it out to the right. One of those that he wanted to part trap and clip at the same time and run past his man, but it didn't fall quite as he wished.
Last few minutes, Pat Nevin sort of staying out wide on the right as an orthodox winger, abandoning his first 20 minutes where he was trying to get behind the front two but not getting any space. Sharp. Ratcliffe actually had quite a lot of room to move into then. And Sharp was the only one up, and he didn't really give him a terribly good ball. One by Newell. Nevin. Big hands came down on it. It was a good enough strike, but it never convinced me it was going to beat Grobbelaar. Comfortable save. Pat Nevin on his left foot is not his strongest foot for hitting them, but again they did win it in the air, and it was the knockdown that gave the opportunity.
There's Rush looking for a nod down. Clear by Keown. Venison. And I think that Ray Atterveld thought that John Barnes was rather closer than he was. Barnes. Low cross. Good block. Free kick is Liverpool's way. But it was John Eberle who denied Ian Rush with one of those strong taps with the knee high. And that's a mile wide from Staunton.
Liverpool's passing is much better than it was at all at any stage, even in that last half hour on Sunday. Whenever they're playing well, they keep possession and sort of frustrate the opposition and have about 10 or 12 passes before they can get the ball. And this evening they've done that on several occasions, and that's always a sign when they're confident knocking the ball around.
Nicol, Mulby, Hussein. Barnes, side netting. Low cross that reached Barnes, and the wrong side of the post from his viewpoint.
Bit frustrated there, John Barnes, because he did the hard work. I mean, he brought it under control, magnificent, and then with it sitting up on his left foot, I thought he must at least get it on the goal, but put it into the side net, and he'll be disappointed.
Free kick against Ablett. Who takes the ball. There's Martin Keown. Won by Burrows. Hinchcliffe. Watson. Newell. Good challenge by Staunton. Plays it early to Rush. And he lost it, the Everton skipper. Rush in on Southall. And off the line brilliantly by Hinchcliffe. Beardsley, and it's deflected off the goalkeeper and into the other corner. Well, I'm afraid that has to go down as an error by Kevin Ratcliffe in the first place, which allowed Rush to run in. And in spite of the brilliant clearance off the line by Hinchcliffe, Beardsley, following up, does what his manager says he should be doing, putting the ball in the net. Brilliant rescue by Hinchcliffe, a little nod sideways and first-time effort that the goalkeeper got to and deflected past the man on the line. So a lead to Liverpool with 32 minutes gone.
Well, Liverpool's possession game finally gave them that opening, but disappointment, Kevin Ratcliffe. We say it so many times. Some occasion in the old-fashioned welly into the crowd is the one in those one-against-one situations. He tried to dribble past Ian Rush, and that set the final opening in motion, and he'll be very frustrated.
Moment for thought. Ratcliffe. That's a bit of a teaser. And still, it's a good header by Newell. Hinchcliffe, Keown, they're all leaving it to each other. Watson went in for it. Now Nevin. Barnes, the man, is taking on. And Barnes beats him. And well, too. Looks for Beardsley's run. I'm not sure that wasn't intended as a back pass by Atterveld, but the goalkeeper, on rushing, was able to get his foot to it and make a good clearance.
There's no way Ray Atterveld thought Neville Southall was about 5 yards away, and Southall became a sweeper there, unfortunately got his foot to that.
Back for McDonald, Nicol across. Crowd trying to lift the home team. some sympathy with Neville Southall. Newell. Goal kick. This was the moment. That was intended, I think, as a back pass. He did awfully well to stretch to it.
I think he's just saying to Neville Southall, what on earth were you doing out here? And they got away with it, and a second goal at that stage would have been devastating for the Everton side. But it's been a cracking tap tie. I mean, the first half has absolutely flown by.
Keogh. Jump well. Barnes. Mulvey always seems to have so much time. Unflurried. It's an interesting ball. Venison. Rush. Nicol. Offside, Barnes. Wonderful save anyway, but he was offside.
John Barnes probably feels a bit better now because that was a stunning save. As you see, Steve Nicol clips it in, just touched on by Venison up in attack, and John Barnes, well, only fractionally on offside. This, of course, could be level this season. Well, Neville Southall, and there's Kenny Dalglish, very pleased, I'm sure, with his team's display. There's no question they deserve now to be ahead. The last 20 minutes, they've been Liverpool at their best.
And they go off with a half-time lead, given them in the 32nd minute by Peter Beardsley, his 12th goal of the season, after the error by the Everton captain, Kevin Ratcliffe. Stuart McCall on as a substitute for Everton at the start of the second half, with McDonald moving to right back, and Ray Atterveld is the player who's been withdrawn. And I imagine there would have been a few conversations during the half-time interval about luck. One or two remembering 1977 in the semi-final, when Everton had what they still believe was a good goal by Brian Hamilton, wiped off by the referee that evening, Clive Thomas. And in the replay, Liverpool won comfortably by 3-0. And also more recently, the thought that Hinchcliffe would probably have saved Beardsley's shot had it not been deflected by the goalkeeper and Kevin Ratcliffe.
Oh, Gleish just having a good look around it, see if anything has happened. The main thing just in the early minute or so is Stuart McCall, who's come on into midfield, seems to be lingering very close to Jan Mulvey, and I'm sure his main job will to make sure he doesn't get the space that was so influential in that first half.
This is Hinchcliffe. Hussein didn't buy the dummy that Sharp was trying to sell. Ratcliffe takes the quick free kick. Space on the right, McDonald wants it. They got a shot in, but I think perhaps he ought to have made more use of that space than he did.
Good to see Neil McDonald, though, in that type of position, because Ray Atterveld wasn't able to get in attacking situations. And he and Hinchcliffe have to push forward more and get in crosses so as Newell and Sharp can get the service that can take advantage of their height.
Another free kick to Everton. Watson to take. Well out by Sharp. This is Nevin. Newell at the back post. McDonald. Newell beaten to it by Barry Venison. Hinchcliffe. Sharp! Yes! Grobbelaar had hands on it, but couldn't stop it going home. Cross from the right, cross from the left, and inside 2 minutes of the second half, it's all square. Really good long cross. Sharp got up well. Grobbelaar had it for a second, but couldn't hold it out. Such was the force.
Great header by Graham Sharp. Good cross by Hinchcliffe. It just got there, a little bit of element of luck, Everton, because it just clipped off Steve Nicol, which just took it towards the far post and gave the Graham Sharp a free header and slightly wrong-footed Hussein.
Mulvey is square. That's a good shot. And Southall deciding to push it out, not try to hold it, pushed it out for some distance. But Goodison Park has really come alive now. It's exactly what Everton were praying for. An early goal.
Just clips off Steve Nicholls' head there and carries it beyond actually Ablett. And it's Steve Staunton trying to retrieve it, seeing the danger, but Sharp so dangerous and a very powerful header. Bruce Grobbelaar got his hands to it, but couldn't keep it out.
Hurt a little bit because he made contact with the track. Steve Staunton. Nevin. Newell is just inside Ablett. Far side is Sharp. At the back of the area is McCall, but Nicholls saw that. It's run loose, Nevin, and it's over the top. He can't quite believe that. Just a moment then when it looked as though Newell could have been offside. But they got in each other's way, Ablett and Nicol. Maybe a player on the left, as we looked at that, would have played Newell onside. I don't know. But anyway, Nevin was allowed to go on. And over the top.
Ablett and Hussain, I think it was, in the end, who tackled each other. And Patton probably surprised to get all that time. And as Bruce Grobbelaar did well, he stood up and spread himself. And he tried to scoop it over him, but managed to do that, but also the goal, unfortunately.
Hinchcliffe. Disappointed with himself with the cross. But the crosses have been coming in from both sides. The goal came from the left from Hinchcliffe after McDonald had a couple of in right in the first minute. Here's another, but that's comfortably taken.
Just dwelling, Bruce Grobbelaar, quite right. Howard Kendall chewing away. Much more relaxed, I'm sure, than he was when that half-time whistle went. But Liverpool have now the ones that have got to compose themselves. But if you lose a goal early in the second half, sometimes whatever's happened before, you just lose the momentum and the initiative, and somebody's got to get hold of the game again for them.
Only down to Sharp. McCall. That's the highest tonight. Benison. And Kieran gives it away to Rush, whose pass to Beardsley was too short. Beautifully kept in by Andy Hinchcliffe. Player that Howard Kendall sold when he was at Manchester City, preferring Neil Poynton. And then when he came back to Goodison, and he got the man he got rid of.
Hinchcliffe is very good in attacking situation. I think he's more ideal to when they play a sweeper system and get him forward rather than when perhaps they play a flat back four.
McDonald's got a little flick on and wide by Newell. Watson, Sharp, just got a deflection as he was challenged by Keogh. And of course, it was Rush, not Sharp. Rush in the centre of the 6-yard area, won by Sharp. Quickly taken to Mulby. Graham Sharp, who cleared. No need for Nevin to play it. 20 minutes to go. Peter Beardsley's 12th goal of the season. Graham Sharp's 7th goal of the season. And his first for 9 matches. Make it 1-1. Ratcliffe, the linesman had a good view. Mulby. Keown had to climb well. And Ratcliffe didn't get rid of it first time. Burrows having to go back a long way, and look how Liverpool are being harried. But they still keep their cool. This is Beardsley. It's still Beardsley! Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Peter Beardsley! Well, surely his manager must concede the point now. He has to be a first-team player in the starting lineup. Scored both, made this out of nothing. There was Barnes on for him, and he hit an absolute beauty which curled away from the clutching hand of Neville Southall.
Absolute screamer. Just turns it away from Martin Keown, hits it with his left foot, and from the minute he left his boot, Neville Southall had no chance, and suddenly, from hanging on for 20 minutes at 1 apiece, Peter Beardsley's conjured up a really special goal. You won't see beaten this better this season, and magnificent strike, his 2nd goal of the game. And well, I wonder what Mr. Dalglish will say after the game.
At least well done. Now the Liverpool fans have been quiet for quite a long time. And all the harrying then by Everton. But suddenly it came to Beardsley. And the moment of brilliant individualism. And Liverpool lead again.
I think you could say David Speedy and Ray Hout might well sit down now on the bench and might not be brought into the action. But it really was their first attack. Kenny Dalglish, he did jump up, I can assure you, when the goal went in. He looked pretty relaxed there, and not surprisingly seen his side now go 2-1 up.
Well, it's a pastime in the sport, picking teams, whether they be for clubs or for England, and he can't have done his England hopes any harm. Peter Beardsley on this show. And that's a miss by Nicol! And Sharp scores his 2nd too. An absolute nonsense between Nicol and Grobbelaar. And a minor pitch invasion, which is totally about celebration. On by Newell. Nicol, Grobbelaar is there to collect. But Nicol thought that Grobbelaar was at home, and had he stayed there, the back pass would have been simple. And it's all square once more. Would you believe it?
One mistake each now, isn't it? Steve Nicol couldn't have heard a call. I assume Bruce Grobbelaar must have called, but perhaps in the noise he didn't hear it, knocked it back. Bruce Grobbelaar was next door to him, and Graham Sharp wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to miss it or anything, just run it and dribbled it into the net, and again the game's turned round on its head.
2 goals in 2 minutes. And Graham Sharp, who'd had the drought, suddenly has found the touch again. How often that happens too. The centre forward finally gets one. He gets another. Nicol was so close to Grobbelaar, he almost was looking into his eyes as he played the ball past him. And an opportunity almost at the other end until McDonald got a foot in. Mulby. McCall, free kick against Burrows.
Well, we've had some good FA Cup action this season so far, but this is as good as any, and Who's to say how it's going to end up?
Certainly, never mind, never on a Sunday. There's been plenty on Saturdays and Wednesdays in the net. And ball by McCall. Taken well and taken to Rush. Lost out to Keogh. Nickel. Sharp. Back from McCall. Looks up to play it across the pitch, I think. And then has to settle the simplicity down the line to Mike Newell. Cross ball then was intercepted by Mulby. It's a bit short. Ratcliffe. Watson. Header of good distance. One shorter, well controlled by McCall. It's a good ball by Ratcliffe to Sharp. Newell in the middle. Nevin at the back of the area. Pass forced him to turn a bit. Taking on Venison. Hinchcliffe with the cross. Ablett not truly. McCall. And a good guiding header by Staunton. Mulby. John Barnes hasn't seen much of the ball in this second half. Takes on Watson and wrong foots him. And Southall had to stretch to put that out of trouble's way. Rush in front of the goalkeeper. Played back again to Mulby. On by Rush. He's done it again. His 24th goal against Everton. This is now match number 28. Back to Mulby. Up for Rush, who got there first. And the ball between Hinchcliffe and Southall, who showed quite clearly what he thought about it. Not again, surely. But it is. And Pat Nevin is to be replaced. And it's Tony Cotty who comes on. With the message, presumably, we can still do it. McDonald's. Meat and drink to Bruce Grobbelaar.
Bit surprised Pat Nevin taken off, because with his dribbling skill he could always produce something special. I thought one of the centre-backs sweeper system with 4 minutes to go is not what's needed, and take a defender off and throw the extra forward on.
Beardsley. McCall. Sharp. Barnes was in the way of a pass intended for McDonald. McDonald was in the way of a pass from Barnes. McCall. Everett will run on. Ablett gets there first. And we're down to 3 minutes. Anxiety showing almost on the face of Kenny Dalglish then. Fairly quiet in the Everton dugout. Just a look of concern from Kendall. Sharp. Ratcliffe did well because it was a poor ball he was given. Rush. Beardsley is over this side. And Rush didn't hit the ball hard enough. Mulby did. Barnes behind Beardsley. inside the last 2 minutes. Play on, says the referee. Barnes. That could have gone anywhere. Came off Ratcliffe. He couldn't have touched it because it's an Everton throw. It's got to go forward quickly. I have a feeling the referee, in fact, had given a free kick to Everton when Ratcliffe took the throw. Southall as we move into the last minute. Ablett wins it. Down to McDonald. Not sure that Tony Cotty's had a touch yet. He might get one now! Unbelievable! What a story! Flicked on, and Cotty was the quickest to get round the back. Got there between Ablett and Bruce Grobbelaar, and it's 3 apiece. The goal in the 89th minute.
What an amazing game. That is the sort of opportunity he loves. He feeds off, anticipated it superbly. Stuart McCall it was who clipped the ball through, kept his head well, picked his spot, and who would have believed? There we are, 3-3.
A penny for your thoughts. And still, they can smile, and how good that is to see. Barnes. Keown didn't get there. Rush! Goal kick. Now we played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. Play anymore, but we will play another 30 minutes to see if this tie can be decided. Sharp and Cotty for Everton, Beardsley and Rush for Liverpool. Liverpool ahead 3 times, Everton coming back 3 times. The last time in the 89th minute through Tony Cotty. Extra time to be played. And away we go again. Everton attacking the goal to the left. And they know that if there's to be another replay, it will be back here in a week's time. Sharp. McDonald. Cotty. Newell is underneath it. Cotty!
It was looked easier, the chance, to be fair. He's knocked it back. You can see him running into the penalty area as it's headed back across. It just comes behind him, and he has to hook it from behind him. That's why he couldn't keep it down.
Barnes.
Twice now John Barnes has just been able to run at Neil McDonald, and they must make sure that they mark him a bit tighter, because when he's running at defenders he goes past them so easy.
And Pat Nevin was still on the pitch. He was often helping out in that situation. Rush just on the edge of the 6-yard area, gets the header. Going to do it again, seems to be the message there. Nicol. Watson. Everton battling to get it out of their own half. Beardsley on the left. Barnes. And still. That's all he could do. McDonald. McCall. Newell. Break his left side. This is Hinchcliffe. Coffey down the middle, so he's sharp. And the free kick against Nicol. Hinchcliffe. And no one there to apply the touch. As the ball went past Ben Hussein. And Hinchcliffe may well wonder why. This is the header by Rush. It was a good header and an even better save. Times Moby looks so lazy, but he's so telling and so very good. Beardsley. Staunton. And it's Venison, and it's another brilliant save by Neville Southall.
That was the best of the lot. Really was a great header by Venison, headed it down, and somehow he scooped it out just near the goal line.
McDonald. Cotti in a little bit of space. Hussein, the wise head. Ablett. Liverpool certainly calling the tune again. And this time there will be a free kick. For the obstruction. Indirect. Which is academic from out there. Three waiting, one of them is Hussein. From John Barnes. Curler right over the top. And once more, Liverpool lead. Dipped, curled, and came inside the post, clipped off it to go home.
Fantastic shot. I mean, each time a goal goes in, you say that's the best goal of the night.
And here's McCall. Nicol in the way. Cotti to chase with Nicol once more. Beardsley. Venison. This is Mike Newell. McCall. Grobbelaar made sure that it was his. Staunton felt the brunt of that. Grobbelaar again. Get out of the road seems to be the gist of that.
I think Steve Staunton wished he had. He got a crash in the head for his trouble. Bruce Grobbelaar, as you see, coming for this one. Steve Staunton going for the header when Bruce Grobbelaar wanted a nice, comfortable catch. And on the second occasion he caught it, as you could see, giving him a few words of wisdom.
Three chasing the long ball. McCall! And he came on a substitute in the final. He scored twice against Liverpool and still finished on the losing side. Just couldn't quite keep that down. Well, whatever the age, they remember this night. It's been one of the FA Cup ties. Applause for the passing. It was still in, says the linesman. And the passing of the Reds, for the most part, has been better than the passing of the Blues. Barnes. A few seconds have gone since an Everton player touched the ball. Oh, this is quality stuff, and this is Beardsley. And still, Kieran denying him. Rush was waiting. 10 minutes left. Everton 3, Liverpool 4. Barnes, Burrows.
Some breathtaking football by Liverpool. The move that built up to the Beardsley chance was as good as anything we've seen this evening. It is one of the most memorable cup ties you wish to see. As always, I suppose, a shame there's got to be a loser, isn't there? If there is, of course.
They can hope for around 9 minutes longer. Mulvey. But something has to shake Liverpool from what is total control. Dockett. Entitled to think perhaps when we can play like that, how is it that we've been pulled back 3 times? The answer is because Everton have battled every inch of the way. Ha! Oh dear, that must be very difficult to take if you're an Evertonian. 8 minutes left. McCall. Ratcliffe. On by Sharp. Offside flag is up against Cottee.
Everton concentrating on hitting the longer balls in there, trying to find Newell and Sharp and get the knocks downs, whereas Liverpool continuing their control possession style, probing and eventually finding that killer pass that is getting through and splitting the Everton defence.
Barnes. Beardsley. Rush starts a run. So does Venison. Seven goals have been scored, and there are 7 minutes left for an 8th. Cottee. Nobody wide to the right, so he had to go backwards. On the left is Newell, inside with McCall, but not for long. Colin Harvey grabs the ball and throws it to the skipper. Newell. Hinchcliffe. Cottee! Unbelievable! Liverpool have given it away again, and Cottee becomes the 3rd man on the night to score twice. with 6 minutes left. Mulvey's back pass. Hussein let it go, it seemed to me. And Cotti ran on. And Grobbelaar was left with nothing to do to save the day.
You're quite right, Barry. Glenn Hussein thought that Mulvey's knockback was going to reach Bruce Grobbelaar, but again, Tony Cotti showing a goal poacher's anticipation just for such an eventuality. There he was with his left foot again, and it went through Bruce Grobbelaar's legs. 4-all. Goodness me.
And it's mind-boggling stuff, because with great respect to them, one has to say that at times Everton have been outclassed in this match, and yet they've hung on and they've come back 4 times. And for that, Howard Kendall's team deserve undying credit from their supporters. Grobbelaar comes for it and loses it and gets it back at the second time of asking.
Just thought he'd shake us up there as he comes to that cross, in case we were beginning to think that was it. Tony Cotti trying to pounce, trying to get his hat-trick, trying to get back to Upton Park and West Ham.
And this has certainly been the best match of this season's competition. And we have just 60 seconds of it left. Venison to take the throw. Staunton. Dave Watson happy to let it go. And you get the feeling that both teams are happy to come out in a week and try again, and who can blame them?
And what an ovation they should get when that whistle does go.
Mr. Midgley gets a sign from both his linesmen. Standing ovation. These teams drawn to play each other for the 15th time in the Cup, the 19th match in all, and a match which will be remembered as long as the FA Cup is played. Really quite fantastic. A stunning evening's entertainment which had absolutely everything. Brilliant goals from Barnes and from Beardsley. As I said, everything except the result.
Barry Davis and Trevor Brooking enjoying one of the best FA Cup ties they'd ever seen. Terry Venables, how did all that rate for you?
Well, I think both sides in games have made fewer mistakes than they did tonight, but it all added up to a great cup tie. I mean, it was just bone-chilling, wasn't it?
Wonderful night for the fans, fans like you. What about the managers tonight? Howard Kendall possibly slightly the happier man, do you think?
It is very difficult. The mere fact that it's not finished, that makes them both think we're going to live to fight another day. But 4 times Liverpool in the lead, it's not very often you think that that's going to happen, that they're going to keep losing it again all the time. I mean, they did hang on in there, and you've got to give all credit to Everton, I think.
Let's just underline the fact that replay next Wednesday at Goodison Park, Everton having won the toss for that. But let's reflect now on 4 of the 8 goals tonight. Peter Beardsley starting the match, as surely he must from now on.
Yeah.
Terrific second.
He held off a challenge there from Nevin, and as you can see, Watson goes behind Keown, and a big space appears between Keown and McDonald, the right back. He gets a chance to really thunder that ball, and not only Southall, but I don't think any goalkeeper could have got to that.
That was a really glorious strike. Really was on song tonight, wasn't he, Peter Beardsley? Then off the bench comes Tony Cotti, fresh pair of legs and a
fresh pair of legs. As you can see, Cotti actually is behind the 10 there. The ball slid between the 2 centre-halves, and Staunton's a little stranded. He runs past Newell there to slide the ball home. His fresh legs, as you say, and sharp brain, takes him in there very quickly.
So into extra time, and this glorious strike
again,
from John Barnes.
Space arises. They sink back onto their goalkeeper. It looks like it's going wide, and the last 2 yards bends in impeccably. And it's, again, an outstanding goal.
And now the equaliser from Tony Cotti.
Well, the ball's played back, and it was said that he let it go. I think he was wrong-footed, and again, he sniffs out problems, and as tired legs come in, mistakes are made, and he punishes it straight through Bruce's legs.
Substitute so valuable in a match of,
That's right.
of this duration.
Yeah.
But Liverpool pegged back 4 times. What significance can we read into that?
I think that tiredness does come in. I always believe, that's why I always think that chances appear at the back end of a game. Plus the extra time, I think tired legs are there.